We're live.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. If everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, thank you. We're going to open it up to public comments. No public comments. PTO report? Somebody doing that tonight?
I guess I can.
Are you here for the PTO?
So I came to be with Megan. I'm the new townwide president for
Oh, okay. Oh, welcome. If you want to just give us a quick,
Okay.
or you don't have to, no pressure.
No, I can. It's totally fine because I actually did the high school. I was the treasurer at the high school.
Okay.
So I can tell you about the high school quick.
Okay, if you could just give us your name.
Denise Reese.
Thank you.
Sorry. So at the high school, we had the senior picnic, which went over well. The PTO helped with breakfast for that, and I think like the ice cream toppings. We also did the senior bagels for them, and we did field day and provided popsicles for them. And then we got an ice cream truck for the senior class for the high school. They did that one day after their rehearsals. So that's, there's my now. So that's the high school. I don't know if,
Sorry. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate it.
or anything else,
You're
but.
late, Megan.
I know. I was putting together our final numbers for the year. These are amazing.
I bet.
Answer.
So, thank you, Denise, for,
Do you want a minute? You can take a minute. I can move on to something else.
All right.
Okay.
So, over the course of this year, between all schools, the PTO donated $170,809.81.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Yay.
events like social events at Hill and Plain, the Fall Festival, Family Paint Night, those were all activities that the PTO sponsored. Excuse me, sorry. Garden upgrades to their brand new garden. Playground grants at Northville. Spelling bee at Northville. Yoga for Excel for both the schools. Cultural arts programs at all the schools, except the high school. Veterans Day hospitality. STEM enrichment, science enrichment, literature enrichment programs, field trips, 2nd, 5th, and 8th grade send-offs, walking project pedometers, and science, I already said science, sorry, and $7,000 in scholarships this year. To high school students.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
So it was a busy year.
It's amazing.
So, and right at the end of the year, I decided to make things crazier for us. And we did the quick turnaround, I voted stickers contest,
Saw that.
which the kids loved. The registrar also loved. And the registrar reached out to me, and I think he mentioned to me that he reached out to Jenna as well. They would very much like to keep doing that with us. And they will actually pay for the printing of them using their budget.
Sweet.
We'll run the program and we'll run the stickers contest. So
That's great.
great way to join the community.
Yeah, 100% is.
There as well. And I think that was really it.
Thank you. That's amazing, Megan. Thank you. We appreciate everything you and the PTO do.
Can I ask a question?
No.
And it might be, well, so is there any record year after year of how much donation we get from the PTOs, the schools? And
Joe has it.
Go back to our records and get that for you.
I
I know last year we also broke 100,000, but I don't think it was any near 170.
I just think that, I find that interesting.
Yeah.
You don't have to
So,
go
you know,
in.
we set budgets at the beginning of the year that include funding of approximately $10 for every student that goes on field trips for K-3. We set aside for each school several $1,000s for enrichment programs for each of the different categories: arts, literature, science, trying to think what else we do. So it adds up fast, and just these past few years, the busing has been outrageous, so we've done what we could to go above and beyond the $10 where we could for parents.
That's amazing.
And offset those field trip costs.
Yeah, if you can get us that would be, we'd like to see that. We could share it.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, approval of the minutes. I need a motion to approve the following Board of Education meeting minutes. Regular meeting minutes, May 20th, 2025, and special meeting minutes, May 29th, 2025.
So moved.
Brian, all those in favor?
I don't think I was at one of those meetings.
Okay, so you're gonna,
Yeah.
okay, he's gonna, Eric. You got that, Sarah? You're on today, girl. Okay. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. So we have reached the end of another school year, and 2024-25 was certainly a productive and busy one. We continue to make progress as a school district in building valuable learning experiences for all students, as well as important connections with families in the community. We had a wonderful promotion ceremony last week for Scotticoke 8th grade, and we wish those students the best as they progress to high school. On Saturday, the New Milford High School class of 2025 experienced a meaningful graduation ceremony, followed by a fun and exciting all-night graduation party. Thank you to those parents and community volunteers for creating such a magical evening for our students. Thank you to the community members who voted in the second referendum on June 11th. Having a budget that passes allows us to quickly begin the hiring process for the positions opened by retirements, as well as for our new positions that resulted from the budget's approval. I can't stress enough how important that is. Special thank you, certainly with Megan, backing up Megan here. Special thank you to our PTOs at each school. Their work truly enriches our students' experiences. And PTO members are also caring cheerleaders for all of our district efforts for sure, as well as for our students' efforts. Here's to a rejuvenating and fun summer for us all as we look ahead to the 25-26 school year. Thank you.
Thank you. So for the board chair's report, I'm just going to piggyback on what Janet said, or Dr. Porlato, excuse me, said regarding our budget and the voting. We'd like to thank the public for coming out. It was truly supported by the town, and we appreciate it. It was a fair budget, and it's going to help move everything forward. So we're very, very appreciative of that. The next thing I'd like to talk about is graduation. What a fun event that was. It was the first time I had the pleasure of handing out diplomas, and seeing those kids just bounce up there smiling was something that was really heartwarming. And I also want to thank Mr. Cunningham and his team for being able to quickly pivot and move it inside. I don't think there was any issues that I heard about. It was a good day by everybody, and we're very thankful. The board is thankful. So, thank you. And I'll move on to policy. Tammy's not here. Okay. Committee on Learning.
Oh, okay. I had to stop and look. It seems like so long ago. So much has happened in 2 weeks. We were presented with lots of new classes to consider, very
saw that.
exciting, and almost every subject area, I believe. And so we'll be taking a look at those tonight in your 1,445
44 pages.
That's how we do it here.
Thank you. Facilities?
I think Mr. Cunningham might be on vacation, a well-deserved vacation. So when we get to the facilities portion in the informational portion, I'll do my best to give a summary of the ongoing projects that we have. I will point out, if you're looking, we do have a list, and it's on page 1,443 of today's agenda.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for not printing it out.
Thank you. And Wendy,
Joking.
Wendy, go ahead for operations.
Well, we had a relatively short meeting because we thought the conversation would be appropriate at the full board. We're wrapping up our fiscal year, and so you'll see some possible bid awards, the monthly reports, our end of the year balance, and all of that financial rep.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to discussion and possible action for the monthly reports. I'll turn it over to Anthony, and Wendy, I'm sure you can direct us.
We need to put the motion out there first.
Oh, okay, sorry. I need a motion to approve the budget position dated May 31st, 2025, revised purchase resolution D-795, and request for budget transfers.
So moved.
I'll second.
Brian and Tom, all those in favor?
Questions?
Discussion.
Oh, discussion, sorry.
It doesn't matter, there's no right order. Anthony, did you want to do an overview on the monthly reports as you did at operations?
Yes, thank you. Just briefly, and then I'll open it up to questions. Budget position shown, the 31st shows we are 98.22% expended or encumbered. Same time last year, we were at 97.57. I'll open it up to questions on the budget position before we discuss purchase resolution and transfers.
I'm going to save some of my questions for, unless you'd prefer it now, for rollout or your balance. We do have, you know, some motions pertaining to that, unless we just want to run through it now. We can certainly do that.
Whatever you would like.
Okay, so, thank you, and if anybody else has any questions, just let me know. We had some of these at operations, but they're brief. So, we're at 98.22, and if we take a look at the estimated end of year balance, and then we take a look, if we could go to page, the revenue page. Let's go to page 17, if you will. So the capital reserve account of 3581, is that number authentic of 3581? Where are we in relationship to that?
That's as of May 31st, but doesn't include the 5-year capital withdrawal associated with the 25-26 budget. Approximately $1.7, $1.8 million would need to come off of that balance.
So we would take the 3.5 million and approximately $1.6 million or $1.7 million coming off of that, did you say?
1.8 million
Okay,
would come off, and then whenever fiscal year end 24-25 is concluded, there will be a deposit into that account.
pending the final audit.
That's correct.
So I mention that because obviously we've had this conversation. We're fortunate enough to have that relationship with the town to have a capital reserve. But when you take a look at it dated May 31st, one would think that that number holds true of $3.5 million. Yet in our 5-year capital plan, the first column of that is going to, once we conclude this meeting, the intent is going to be to draw on that and go to the town and the Board of Finance to execute those requests and draw that down $1.8 million.
Yes.
Yes. So I wanted to put that on the record. Couple other quick questions. As we roll out the end of the year, how does the ESG payment calculate into this?
So that's going to need to come out of a motion regarding fiscal year end balance. The majority of that is going to come from our electrical line, and the payment due in December 2025 is roughly $513,000.
But it's coming out of this.
It's going to come out of the end of year balance for this year.
Correct.
And if I could just remind the board that this whole project and its billing cycle versus the actual construction phase is basically 1 year off.
Correct. Because we got off to kind of a late start. And so do we know, when we have a payment that's due at the ESG, how do we know what our savings is?
So we don't know the full picture of the savings. The preliminary M&V report is due to the district June 30th. And then within 90 days of that, we are due the year 1 synopsis.
A follow-up. So that percentage, the end of the year possible balance, does that already take into account that ESG payment?
No, it does not. So later on, during discussion
go.
of possible action, there's a projected fund balance, and the payment to ESG would need to come off of that number.
And that's $500,000. So I just wanted that on the record as well.
Through the chair, M&V is measurement and verification report, and that gives us a sense of what we're saving and what is being generated by those panels.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
is it possible, maybe at a future meeting, it depends, could you break out the other services that when we end up after our finances are complete in that particular area of the budget, what that is?
Sure, just similar to what we did for professional services.
Exactly.
Yep, yeah, no problem.
That's it for me.
That's it? Anybody else?
Just briefly, that was just the budget position.
Right.
There are no transfers to request, but there is your purchase resolution. Just want to note that it is revised since you've seen it at operations.
Oh,
There's a correction I have to make here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one down, purchase resolution D795 revised to Solient. That's a candidate referral fee. It says 2 nurses, but it's actually 2 positions. It's 1 teacher and 1 nurse. I apologize for that mistake.
is that in addition to what we saw at ops, or is it just a number change?
This was not on the ops purchase resolution at all.
So the actual purchase resolution, this is a new item.
Yes, it's revised. It should be marked on your hard copy. But it's revised. This is not the same item that was in operations. The only change is that 1 addition there.
Chair?
Oh, sure.
Question. Maybe a stupid question, I apologize, Anthony, but on page 17, under revenues, the first line, excess costs.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just explain that a little bit for me? It looks like we have a balance of a negative 684. So I'm just, explain exactly what that excess cost represents and, you know, where it stands right now year to date.
There's a memo on this later, under items of information, but I'll unpack this a little bit now. That's the revenue that the district budgets for reimbursement costs related to out-of-district placement, tuition, and transportation, both combined. We receive 2 payments usually in any one given year. The memo later on in this agenda goes through and describes how we have a projected shortfall and how the state had authorized additional money to try and close that shortfall, not just for New Milford, for all districts in the state of Connecticut. So the budget position listing shows it $684,910 short. Once we receive the 3rd payment, which will be by June 30th, which we're coming up on very soon, we will still be short after receiving that payment, but it'll basically cut what we expected in half. So we won't be 684,910 short. We should land at only 322,849 short. These are approximate numbers.
Do we have an explanation as to why? Was it we didn't have, like, students, we didn't get reimbursed?
Yeah, exactly. It's twofold, right? What's going on here is that there are some placements that didn't last the full duration of the year, and there were some placements that didn't reach the threshold to have reimbursable expenses allowed for them. So it's a little bit of combination of both. And the 3rd factor here is that the state overall needed to inject more money into excess cost reimbursement for districts across the state.
I just have another comment. It doesn't, because it's all tied into one. When we go into our possible motions for end of the year balance, if you take a look at where we are on the turf field replacement, if a motion goes through of what we usually try and set aside, we'll be at almost $1 million in that account.
That's correct.
We are ahead of our commitment to the community on that, and I'd like that on the record. So.
Yes, indeed.
Go ahead, Dr. Parlato, did you have something?
Oh, I was just reminding everyone that it's not an automatic reimbursement. You have to reach the threshold, which is 4.5 times per pupil expenditure. So you have to get there in order to get the money.
So you were saying, I'm sorry, Wendy, you were saying, but net over time, we're up? Is that what
When the fields were put in, we made a commitment that we would take our end of the year balances, whatever we could, depending on the year, you don't know what it is, and put into an account jointly with the town, so when those fields needed to be replaced, that we wouldn't have to come back to the town of New Milford with $1.5 million or whatever the bill would be at that time. And some years, the reimbursement, or I should say the allocation, if you will, to that account was less than others because of various reasons. The town has matched, I believe, if not all, most of those contributions, and we're at $1 million.
Oh, so we're net. Oh,
Where we are at least fulfilling the goal of having that much, if not more, into the account. So we're ahead of the game.
Gotcha.
I think also we've been managing the fields well. And
With
so
a
they're
longer
actually
life.
lasting longer than we expected as well.
It's so smart to have that replacement fund coming.
I believe-
That didn't.
No, I believe the first payment went in what, 16, 17, or somewhere of that?
17, 18, and at the time, we thought we would need $1 million in around 10 to 12 years, and we are
About 4 years ahead.
scheduled by about 2.5 years to meet that goal. And as Ms. Ansel just brought up, the longevity of the field has been lengthened as well through proper maintenance.
It's a really good, it's a good thing, quite frankly.
Smart to do that.
Okay, anybody else? All those in favor? That's everybody. And we'll move on to bid awards. The RFP E-2425-006, the occupational therapy services. I need a motion to approve the bid award RFP E-2425-006 for occupational therapy services. And Dean, any questions?
We didn't have these numbers at operations. These have just been submitted for the board. The lowest bidder is not necessarily the best bidder, but I would guess that there's a relationship that also works through this, that, carries the process, right?
We've been working with integrated pediatrics.
Yep.
They're consistent, they're knowledgeable, their staffing is excellent, they supervise their own staff. We've never had problems with missing or vacant positions, which is really important for community services. And they consistently come in and see the numbers.
Right.
With quality services. I mean, they haven't even increased in 3 years. So.
Great.
Anybody else? All those in favor? That's everybody. I need a motion to approve bid award RFP E-2425-007 for therapeutic physical therapy services.
So moved.
Second.
Eric, Ryan, any questions? All those in favor? Everybody? Number 3 is the RFP for enrollment study. Are we doing a motion on this?
No action.
This is just a,
I could-
Yeah, you could want to say a few words, and I will too. Yep.
Yep, so while there is a memo on this that carries forward from operations, it is being revised. At operations, we talked about possibly having a recommendation for award tonight. Dr. Parlato and myself checked the references on the vendors who submitted, and at this point in time, we're not making a recommendation for award. When we look back to when we last posted for an enrollment study in 2021, we had 4 vendors who submitted bids at the time, and they were, all 4 bids were within $48,000 to $69,000. That's not to say that this work will be more expensive today, but the stagger of prices, discrepancies between the 3 vendors who submitted has prompted us to pause and post this at a later date. Not only that, right now, there's not money identified in the Board of Education budget, 5-year capital plan, or operating, or grant funding anywhere to actually pay for the study once we do select the vendor. So right now, we're electing to pause and not award.
I have 2 additional, may
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
add 2 things, yes. So first, the numbers that we have are still pretty good, even though it's starting to get stale in terms of the quality of the statistics, it's still pretty tight. And second, looking at the legislation regarding zoning in communities gives me pause to wait and see how that's going to play out, because it might change the way units have to be apportioned in communities, and it might change an enrollment study if we did it now. I'd rather wait a year to see how that legislation plays out and what their requirements for each community are going to be, because that might change the nature of housing in the town. That's just a,
If I could add to that, I had asked that question in operations, how this came about. That rationale makes sense to me, but I would also ask that, we follow that timeline, because we do need to be ahead of this rather than behind in enrollment concern. And I would hope that we can partner with the town. This is not a Board of Education topic. This is a town topic. They're all our children, they're all our students, they're all our residents. So I think that the funding for this project, even if it's a year from now, should also be discussed.
I'm just going to ask a question. How long last time did the study take?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Which one?
oh, the SLR, so they did enrollment
study.
They also did school utilization, so that would have caused it to take a little bit longer, but it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take a year. to complete.
That's what I was going to,
It
because we
takes them
don't
a
want to
couple
wait a
months.
year if it's
Oh,
going to
no,
take
no,
a
no,
year.
no. Yeah, no, they can do that in a couple months.
Good enough. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to move on to, what is this? I need a motion to the, to the turf field funds. I need a motion to approve a $100,000 deposit into the turf field fund from the end of the year balance pending final audit.
So moved.
Wendy,
Second.
Brian, any questions? I think we covered some of it, most of it. All those in favor? Everybody. I need a motion for a capital reserve withdrawal in the amount of $513,000 for the 2025 Energy System Group Bank of America lease payments. Brian? Dean? Any more discussion, questions? All those in,
If we could, after we do receive some type of data regarding the actual savings, I hope that that's brought back to the board, so we can kind of pick up where we are with that.
all those in favor? That's everybody. I need a motion to move the remaining 24-25 end of the year balance pending final audit to the capital reserve fund and to make that request to the town council and board of finance.
So moved.
Second.
Tom and Brian. Any discussion? Questions? All those in favor? That's everybody. I need a motion to approve the 25-26 budget in the amount of $76,332,587 with the following adjustments. $8,000 from BZA 25043, Object 25900, Workers' Comp, and $10,000 from BAZ 25943, Object 55200, LAP Insurance, per Kerma update.
So moved.
Second?
Eric, Dean, discussion.
Quickly, these were items that we received notice, the town received notice on at the same time. Lesser amounts required for both workers' comp and LAP insurance, which is liability, auto, and property insurance. And these amounts came in after the board adopted their budget. The mayor incorporated these adjustments when he made his recommended budget, when he made his recommendations upon the board's adopted budget to the town council.
Okay, so this amount of the $76,332,587, that includes those?
That is the resulting amount after those two adjustments.
Okay.
That matches the approved second referendum that passed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? All those in favor? That's everybody.
I'd like clarification.
Sure.
I had forgotten to ask, is the goal to go back and look at our list for the first year of the capital request and make that a separate motion at the board, pending a list from Mr. Cunningham, or what are we doing with that?
That's done over the summer, in July or August.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we get on the schedule for the fall if we're going to withdraw from that account, because we still have to go through 3 meetings to do that.
July.
Thank you.
Okay, we can move on. Okay, new policies for first read. We're going to start with 5130, restorative practices, response policy, and new policy for second read, 1340, naming or renaming school buildings, components of school buildings, and/or school grounds. I need a motion to approve the following new policy, 1340, naming or renaming school buildings, components of school buildings, and/or school grounds.
So moved.
Second.
Eric, any discussion? All those in favor? That's everybody. I need a motion to approve revisions for the following policies: 1111, school security and safety, and policy 1250, visitors and observations and schools.
So moved.
Eric. I'll second it.
Okay,
Okay. You want it, Tom?
I don't care.
I'll take this one. Any discussion?
Sorry, quick question. Did we skip 5130? You mentioned it, but.
We didn't have to
It's
vote.
first read, so let's go back.
So we don't discuss?
Right.
You want to
We can
discuss
discuss it.
We can discuss it.
Okay, yeah, because we talked about it briefly in policy, and I just wanted to get it on the record. What we quickly discussed was that, and Dr. Palao, you identified it a lot better than the word other than restorative. I forget what the phrase was you used. It was a better word than restorative practice to explain exactly what that means. So when
Oh, so,
reintroducing someone after.
oh, so yeah, for sure. So reintroducing or reintegrating someone into the school community.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but really the point of that policy is to look at the full continuum of quote-unquote student or school discipline and what that means. So it can be a conversation all the way to expulsion. And so it's clarifying what one side of that continuum consists of.
Thank you for that clarification. And then, just again, for the record, we discussed having the climate plans made available for us to review. Dr. Bellotto said we would have an opportunity to look at those, to review them, to make any edits that we wanted to make to those. And I know we're working towards that. I don't have my notes in front of me, Dr. Bellotto. I'm not sure if you gave a date as when we would have that, but I think it was a couple of months, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the meeting is July 17th maybe or so, whatever, July, you'll get it before that.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All those in favor? This was not the day to forget my glasses.
I know, right?
Oh, my God.
Small, yeah.
I need a motion to delete the following policies and administrative regulations: 4116, increasing educator diversity plan and minority hiring recruitment plan, and 5131.911, bullying prevention and intervention in safe school climate plan and administrative regulations.
Second.
Clarification. So we're deleting these completely. They're not, they're gone.
Correct.
Anybody else? All those in favor? That is everybody. Curriculum for approval. I am not going to, by any chance, read all of these, so I will just,
That's for the agenda.
I need a motion to approve the following curricula, and it is 8 point, is that 1 or I?
Where are you?
On number
Oh, that's
8.
1, that's 1.
Okay, 8.1, or is there more? Okay,
It's 1 through
8.1. So everything that's listed on there, I am going to ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor? That is everybody. And now we'll go to items of information. We'll start with 1111R, administrative regulations regarding school security and safety. Does anybody have any comments or anything about that? Okay, administrative regulations regarding visitors and observations in school. I just have a quick question about that.
Yes.
The observation in school, does that also include, will that be including parents who want to come in and audit a class?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Number 7,000, concept and roles in planning for educational facilities. 5131.91R, that's just, administrative regulation regarding Connecticut school climate policy. And employment report. Ms. Terry?
So we have started, as you mentioned, the recruiting. It's fast and furious. So we have filled just today 1 position with an external candidate and 3 positions with internal moves, which is really exciting. So we came out really quick, which is really good. The budget passed.
Dr. Perlon?
Yes.
We had talked about this a couple of months ago. Would it be possible to include in the employment report moves within the system?
Sure.
Oh, so you mean if somebody moves from one school to another or one grade to another?
You can make an internal moves box.
Yeah.
I can always get a box. Absolutely.
I like that idea, Sarah.
It's nice to see when people make changes. And
Employment, enrollment report.
Yes, so in the enrollment report, if you look at the grid on the bottom left, the 2 columns to the right are the most important at this time. So the one that says 24-25 variance from the projection, so that shows how close the projection was to what actually happened. So that tells me that our enrollment projections are still good, because those are pretty close other than the high school, even though 44 isn't that far off, but to be that close by 3 students, 4 students, makes me not worry so much about the quality of that projection that we have right now. And then the last column, all the way to the right, shows the difference year over year. This is the actual difference in kids that we had in the school district in June 2024 versus June 2025. So you can see the difference, of course, pre-K to 2 because of the kindergarten change. But if you look at Scotticoke, that's very interesting, right? Scotticoke is about 19 over from one year to the next.
Thank you. CEN Wi-Fi grant, Mr. Turner, it sounds like you're up.
We were awarded a $250,000 Wi-Fi grant for the high school and the middle school. Working with the town, David Watson and Victoria Carvalho, who's the grant writer. $150,000 will be for our school, $100,000 for the town. We'll talk more about it and get more in depth during capital. For that, it is a zero payment grant to us. We just have to front the money, which we'll talk about in capital. I'm also working on a second round of this with the town, with 2 parks and 3 schools still to add for outside Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the intention of that is outside Wi-Fi.
Yes.
That was my question.
Yes. Yep. Which is great for safety and for visitors and many different reasons. So one of the reasons we wanted to mention it is because I believe the town council will also address it coming up soon, so we didn't want to be a surprise to you.
What's the time frame on that?
We have to be done by June of '26, but my expectation is the fall. I'd like to get the second round. If we're able to get the second round in, there was a $10 million grant, only 3.6 was used in the first round. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get all 5 schools and land up with 3 parks in the town as well.
Nice. Thank you.
Again, at zero cost.
Thank you.
And the reimbursement comes in the same fiscal year that we drew it on, correct?
As soon as the work is done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excessive cost.
Excuse me, did we miss the employment report?
You
maybe
were
I just
sleeping
blanked.
during it, apparently.
Where do I am?
No, I think you were sleeping. We did do it.
Did you?
We did do
Oh,
it.
wow.
Terry was speaking.
Okay.
Did you have a question?
Did you have a
I did
question?
not, I did not, I don't know, I just zoned out for a moment.
That's all right. Oh, boy, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excessive cost update.
Excess cost, yeah.
Excess, what did I say?
Excessive. Your cost is excessive, yeah.
Oh, my.
This is just an item of information, I think we covered it under, monthly report.
We discussed it at ops too.
Anybody have anything on that? No? Okay. Ongoing facility projects. You're up, Tom.
All right, let me see if I can get this one right. Again, it's on page 1443, which is almost at the end of our big, long agenda. Top of the list is the high school gutters, which we've discussed for a number of years. Contractor has been hired, will start within the next couple weeks and will be done this summer. So the gutters, those seams will not be leaking when school restarts. Same with the Hill and Plain canopy, contractor's been hired. They should start shortly, and Mr. Cunningham estimates that maximum 2 weeks, that job will be done. SMS UST, that's the underground storage tank at Scattercoke. That's been delayed slightly because the state has a new mandate in terms of underground storage tanks, that they need a leak detection device between, it's a 2-layer tank, and they need a leak detection device, so the RFP will have to reflect that. So, but it's not going to take as long as the Sarah Noble tank. Nope. We're pretty sure. And the new thing, farmhouse roof RFP, that's the Larson Farmhouse, which is on the high school grounds, which is the headquarters for the facilities team. So that's a very old asphalt shingle roof. So Mr. Cunningham's put together an RFP to replace that roof with similar asphalt shingles.
And then I believe, Sarah, we're going to paint it.
Order of operations is yes, as Matt would say.
Yes.
And I got to say, if you've never been inside there,
It's
Mr.
nice.
Cunningham gave me a tour. It's an incredible house, and he's doing an amazing job of maintaining and restoring some of the buildings. He really
He had a conference table made by his own hands.
Yeah.
I mean, we should all go over there and take a look at it.
Yes. So that house is in good hands.
Yes.
Somebody who likes old houses, I really
I
appreciate
think
that.
a picture of something like that should be brought to the board. And when you have someone doing something like that, I think it's
Yes,
pretty incredible.
very much so. I also take a video of the steepness of the stairs, which are like this.
Oh, yeah.
And me going up them.
Yes. Last thing on the facilities is central office. I think we have all had to recognize that our administration is going to be in this building for the foreseeable future. And they have issues with the current situation, specifically in terms of privacy. So Mr. Cunningham is putting together an RFP to solicit bids from architectural firms to design ways to improve the current offices, and also if HVAC needs to be modified, that as well. So that will be brought to the board when at the proper time.
Thank you. And just quickly, do you have a question regarding that?
Regarding the central office, because we talked about this at facilities and at operations, I think it's fair to say that the changes have to come from us to make this happen. Privacy, it's ridiculous. We should not have people having to make calls from their car, having conversations disclosed. That is a vulnerability that is gone on, and I am not happy about it. We've got to do a better job here. So the time frame on that, to get those studies done and find out what we're going to do, we have some left in the capital that we have not expended all towards the central office. It's not a lot, but I know we have some.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
$8,000, I think.
Okay. But my point is, when you're dealing with privacy and security, that should not be confused with a luxury, because it isn't. It's a job function, and we're required to carry out those in very strict manner. So I really hope that we can get some of that information back and make it work and get those changes made.
We're, just for clarification, we're just waiting on, we're gonna do an RFP on it to get some offices that said we're done.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
We're waiting on, I guess that Matt's gonna send out an RFP,
Yes.
and we'll get some bids on architectural firms.
Yes.
That are gonna draw it up for us to,
Yes.
then to be able to go out to bid and have people.
Correct.
trained and-
Although,
Some of it we can do in-house.
Yeah, that's what I'm-
the carpentry work can probably be done in-house. If there's HVAC modifications, that would probably go out to bid. But Mr. Cunningham is confident that
Some of it could be done
I
in-house.
just-
his team can do
No doubt, sir.
and they've proven it,
Yeah.
in many instances, so, yes,
The Hill and Plain canopy.
yes.
Did you want to touch on that, or?
I did. So I did. I mentioned that.
Sleeping.
Ooh, that boomerang.
That's what I'm saying.
Norma just came around and smacked me in the face.
So what I said about Hill and Plain Canopy is that work is starting over the summer and will be done within a couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very good list. The facilities has just done a great job.
They really have. Where are we? Field trips.
Oh, just a few for June. That was a short month.
Italian Mia, they're going to Italian Mia?
They went.
They went? Oh, 6-3, they did. All right, that's fun.
Sure.
And then June fundraising report.
Yes, you can see they sold water graduation and they collected donations for Ann's Place. Very nice.
Okay, moving on to number 10. I hereby move that the board enter into executive session for the purpose to interview a candidate for the pre-K through 5 supervisor of special education position. I invite into executive session. Invited into executive session are Dr. Janet Parlato, Superintendent of New Milford Public Schools, Mrs. Teresa Kavanaugh, Director of Human Services, and the candidate who will be virtual.
I'll second that.
Who, oh, I did that, right? Okay. All those in favor? Nobody's never voted.
for that.
Okay, we're coming back from executive session, Lauren, at 7:36. 7:36, we're back. Okay, I need a motion to appoint Kristen Phillips to the position of pre-K through 5 Supervisor of Special Education effective July 1st, 2025.
So moved.
Eric, Brian, all those in favor? That's everybody. Let her know that the board welcomes her.
I just hit send.
Okay.
Scoop 'em up.
I hereby move that the board enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing the employment and salaries of non-bargaining unit employees. I further move that the board invite Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Janet Parlato, and the Director of Fiscal Services, Anthony Giovanni.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Leslie.
I moved it. All those in favor? That's everybody. And the time is 7:37. Did I butcher your name, Anthony, horribly?
He's okay with it.
in at 7:51. Are we voting on anything? No, right?
Yes. There's a motion there.
Yep.
Not. Got it?
I see the motion that we're going into executive session. There's no motion to vote on anything.
Okay.
Should be a motion to.
Yeah, we do
There
need
should be.
to vote on.
I'd like to put a motion on the table
thank you.
that the board approve, as per items discussed in executive session, non-bargaining unit employees.
So moved.
I'll second that. You got it.
Tom, all those in favor? That's everybody. Thank you.
Am I recording that? Am I recording that
Oh, it's easy.
motion?
We'll get the language.
She'll get the
Laura has the language.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just put it down. I just wrote, Sarah.
C. Lauren.
I just put down,
You get that, Laura? You got it? Yeah.
yeah, I just put down
teacher
motion and, okay. I hereby move that the board enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing a proposed contract of employment with the superintendent of schools. I further move that the board invite into executive session Dr. Janet Parlato, superintendent of schools.
Second.
Who moved it?
Yes.
Okay.
All those in favor? That's everybody. We're entering into executive session. Lauren, it's 7:50. Thank you. session at 8:07. We'll do. I hereby move that the board authorize the board chairperson to execute on behalf of the board the proposed contract of employment with the superintendent as discussed in executive session and subject to any necessary legal review.
Second?
All those in favor? That is everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Who moved it? Tom?
Yeah.
Dean?
Yeah.